Well, that was Senator Dianne Feinstein dismissing the controversy over Hillary Clinton's private email server. But is the media overdoing it or underplaying, under-investigating this story? Joining us now, Ellen Ratner, Bureau Chief of Talk Media News. Nice to see you on this side of the clock. And Tammy Bruce,
thank you,
radio talk show host at TammyBruce.com. Both Fox News contributors. Good to have you ladies with us. All right.
Thank you.
Ellen, to you, if we changed the clock back to 2004, and the principal in this story from Hillary Clinton to, say, Dick Cheney, who had a private email server with classified material on it, I doubt Ms. Feinstein would be saying the same thing, that we've heard enough about this.
Well, she probably wouldn't, but I fault the media not so much for going after Hillary Clinton or being obsessed with it, but not being obsessed enough with the Justice Department and what they're releasing and not releasing. We pay their bills. They should be a little more forthcoming about who they're interviewing, et cetera, so we can make a decision.
The history on this, though, is clear, that the FBI and the Justice Department complete their investigations in private. Are you saying that we should just be able to see whatever is happening and learn about grand jury proceedings as they go on?
I'm not saying that we have to see the documents, but we should at least know who they're interviewing and how they're making decisions. That's what I think the press should be focused on more.
Tammy, you agree with this, or should the press be focused on digging into the story itself? The Washington Post has 20-plus reporters on Donald Trump. Should they have 20-plus reporters digging into Hillary Clinton's emails?
Well, of course they should. I mean, this is an issue with Feinstein. It's just saying effectively the Democratic line. They want people to ignore this. And the fact of the matter is, you know, Richard Nixon didn't break any laws either. We're still talking about that 40 years later. So there's an issue here. Of course, it's about ethics. It's about decision-making. Hillary Clinton wants to be the leader of the free world, and her argument is that unless there's a rule that's clear for her, she'll make the wrong choice. So these are issues politically that are, of course, speak to the American people about decision-making and principles and the connection with what's relevant here. Now, when you're looking at also with the media, what's also important, Leland, as you know, is what's not said. It's what's not done. So, yes, stories about Hillary Clinton that are not being done that are the equivalent of what's being done to Mr. Trump. Stories about Bill Clinton's issues continuing still with women. The woman who's so familiar to Mr. Clinton, is with him so much, she has her own Secret Service code name. I think that should be of interest to the New York Times. It doesn't seem to be, though. So these are issues when it comes to what's not reported and what's not said. And the simple things, even like the word controversy versus scandal, it says something about the media. They're trying to cover her, but there's so much scandal that they can't get away with not covering it at all, and that's their problem.
Ellen, doesn't Tammy have a point here that when it comes to this email scandal, controversy, investigation, whatever you want to call it, that the media has been, shall we say, incredibly soft in terms of really digging into what the core issues here? Find me a news organization.
Well, I was just taken aback because actually I don't think the media has been soft on Hillary Clinton at all. I do think that they have to look into the Justice Department and how decisions are being made and who's making those decisions. That I think the media has not investigated. But being soft on Hillary, we're obsessed with these emails. That's all we hear about.
But I'm unclear as to what you want the media to investigate at the Justice Department. You have a closed investigation. Who they're talking to isn't public until after the investigation's done. You want to change the rules on that, or you feel like the media is not?
Well, I do think it is a public figure. It's not like somebody private. I do think that who they're talking to should be made public. And I also think how they're making their decisions and who's making the decisions ought to be public.
If I could, Leland, if I just want to mention to my friend Ellen that there's a reason why people keep talking about the email dynamic. It's because something new is always coming up. With the Clintons, it is always something. They would love this. You heard it in Feinstein's voice, that please, enough is enough. Tell that to Secretary Clinton, because her life is filled with this. And this is what Americans are exhausted by, this attitude of entitlement, that the rules don't apply to them, that they've gotten away with things for so long. So if Ellen and other good Democrats out there really want there to be fairness, then you've got to find somebody else to run for president, because Hillary is not the best candidate.
All right, Ellen, Tammy, we'll leave it there. You have to imagine the Clintons aren't too happy about this being out right now, as they're trying to rebuild her trustworthy numbers ahead of the convention if she makes it that far. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, Heather, what's coming up?
Thank you. Troubling.